Good afternoon, everybody. I know we've been out of school for a couple of days, so today I'm going to give you a little bit of a summary on what you should expect for tomorrow's test. The format, just so you know, that is multiple choice for about 20 questions, and then you're going to have some short answer and an essay question. We've already talked about the essay question last week, and that essay question revolves around don't reinvent the wheel. It's a saying that we discussed in Thursday, January 11th, and if you look at the notes from that day that I have on Canvas, you should have a lot of information about that. The gist of it is that our American form of government actually came out of three different documents that the English used. So make sure you understand the Magna Carta, the Petition of Rights, and the English Bill of Rights and know how they impacted our system of government. So that's what the essay revolves around. Multiple choice. We're going to go back to our first day of notes and step through the formation of our government. So I'm just going to get my notes out here, sorry, so I don't forget anything when I'm going over this. Put it up here. You're going to need to know the difference between a federal government and a unitary government. We talked about that in our notes. Also, know what types of governments represent each. What is a federal government? What countries represent that? What is a unitary? What represents that? Let's see. You're going to need to know the four essential features of a state. Not only know them, but give me a characteristic of each. You should have those in your notes. Also, know the purposes of government. There's 4 or 5 of those that we talked about in your notes, so make sure you can list at least 4 and name their purpose. Again, this is not just listing the information for me. You're going to have to actually spell out what that purpose is. So a good, thorough discussion when you fill that information in will be helpful. On the multiple choice, just knowing some of the basics then of what we talked about as we went through our notes. You're going to need to know Locke and Hobbes. We talked about Locke and Hobbes and how they impacted our system of government. Also, let's see. Sorry, go into my notes here, guys. Again, what is a democracy? What is a representative government? Understand dictatorship, monarchy, oligarchy. Remember, we watched that video. I'm going to try to put that video out on Canvas again so that you can refresh your memories on the little people that had the coconuts. So I find that to be real helpful. Just make sure you watch that tonight. Again, this is not a test that's meant to trip you up in any way. It's truly a summary of those notes that we've taken on those 4 days and the discussions that we've had over those 4 days. So if you run into any questions tonight when you're reviewing everything, don't hesitate to send me a message on GroupMe or text me if you've got my number or an email, whatever works best for you. But again, know those notes. That's the best thing I can tell you if you kind of know the notes inside and out. 20 questions, multiple choice, some short answer, which are things like know the characteristics of a state, know the formation of government, those sorts of things. Be able to fill the purposes of government. I said formation, the purposes of government. Know those things so that you can list those out. And hopefully you will all do well tomorrow. So hope you've enjoyed these 2 days. I know we've had a lot of time away from each other, and I hate coming back to a test, but I felt like we need to move forward. And if you just study those notes, watch this recording, I think you'll have a good idea of what you need to get ready for. Again, the notes from November 11th that we took on that Thursday are up on Canvas under the Colonial Period module. So make sure you look for those and fill in any gaps that you may have had in your own notes. And I will see you all bright and early tomorrow morning. Thanks a bunch.